if I'm honest with you, for Birmingham and lock that area around, and they're looking to potentially do 5 to 8 studios. So regards to Galway, that would be a good location. I mean, a good territory. And then we would help and support you in regards to location. So John, the CEO, who hopefully you'll meet a little bit later, he's just upstairs in a meeting at the moment. He's a gentleman who can really help you and assist you in regards to, once you pick a territory, the best location, how it can be fitted out, and hopefully how it can be successful with all the technology that we have to hand. Remember, we've got phones, GPS is a big thing, drive time is a big thing as well. And what happens, even though obviously I sell and I recruit for the franchisees, I actually do EMS twice a week at the moment, and my partner does it once a week. She's obviously coming to the studio here. So the demographic, even though it's fantastic for myself, yourselves, it's brilliant. John does it. Obviously, John, the owner, he was a rugby player in his time, and he's building muscle and burning fat. But the demographic that really loves it are women between the age of 30 and 70. And they really buy into it and they go for it as well. So if you go to a population, a location where there's good footfall, there's good drive time, and the GPS shows us that lots of people are coming on that high street potentially, because a high street is great with like a hairdresser's or a beauty place, or even a potential like even a coffee place where it's got a shop window, and people are proceeding up and down, like where we're based here now in Leeds. You'll see that it drives a lot of people to the studio. But with our marketing that we do, for example, just say you were going live in 4 weeks' time, we'd have an impact team that would start the marketing initially. Depends on which package you go for. And then as you go live, in the first couple of weeks, we would try and get as many free trials into the studio, and our team will help and support to close those free trials. And those free trials, when they come on board, they become members. Our close rate is 80% at the moment, touch wood, which is fantastic. And we're obviously pushing for it to go bigger and better all the time. But with the way we do it, after that, when you have, say, 50 members, a lot of it becomes word of mouth as well with continuous marketing. And like anything, I mean, obviously in a positive way, women talk to other women, and it becomes where friends come down and do a free trial and become members. I mean, for example, we are going live in Hounslow very soon as well. In Hounslow, I'm Indian Sikh and Hindus. There's a lot of them in Hounslow. There's more Indians in Hounslow than there is in the whole of London. So our marketing will be geared towards attracting the Indian, obviously everyone, but we know attracting the Indian community. The Indian men will love it, but the Indian women will love it because they do suffer, sorry to say, bad diet, really bad diet with what we eat and what we do. And I'm going to be honest with you, with the Indian food and how rich the sweets are and how bad they are for you. Indian women are looking for a solution where they can go in, work out for 20 minutes, it takes 30 minutes of their time up, and they can get back to business, back looking after the kids as well. So when we look at a specific area, majority of the times the demographic is very, very important, and we will focus on attracting those types of people to your studio through our marketing that we do in-house as well. So location-wise and area-wise, Ireland is ripe for the picking in a very positive way. And I think if you looked at Galway, once it's working, you could look at other studios. And if you did want to go to Dublin and a little bit further down the field, because of our platform, a little bit like John does and Joe does, who are our directors and the owners of the business, they can manage all the studios just sat in their office. They can do it from their bedroom. They have access to everything, all the KPIs, people logging in, logging out. They can even see the percentage rate of closing of free trials. It has so much to it. It literally allows you to run your business from your bedroom. But obviously you want to visit, you want to make sure you have the right trainer in charge and the right junior trainer, and they're keeping the standards up. But for example, we have people who are based in Yorkshire who've bought a studio in London, and they're going to travel down and keep an eye on it. And that's a family business as well. Just sort of give you a little bit of insight on what's happening so far. Yeah, of course. Absolutely, absolutely. So, for example, go sorry, go. Sorry, Dave. Well, it's going to be a high figure at 80% because our closing rate is 80%, retention rate is 80%. But remember, people, sorry to say this, move, get different jobs. So in London, a lot of people are working in that location. So what they do is come in, do their job, work out, go home. And obviously people pass away as well. But the rate of it, you want to aim for the first 12 months, at least 100 members plus. And when you have a certain amount of members on board through the marketing, your job, well, our job and obviously our job together is to make sure if any numbers are slightly dropping, for example, we've got members in Leeds, they've gone traveling for 2 months, so they've paused their membership and they're going to come back and do what they do. You facilitate for people of, for good members like that as well. So retention rate is very, very high, but that's because with our support and our team, we're going to help you recruit the right people. And you'll know in this industry, people come and go. It's life. We can't change that. But when they come on board today, just say I've been trained by the team or yourselves. I'm with you for 12 months. And if I decide to go, well, I'm going to leave now after 4 months because I've got the training, the employee has to sort of pay towards their training and the support you've given them as well. And that's in the recruitment contract. But I, for example, I'm going to just presume it's both of you doing it together, and you're going to be hands-on. You can be onboarded within 4 weeks. You don't need to be in the health industry. It helps if you can. You don't need to be a personal trainer. I tell you what really works. People who've got experience in customer service, people who are good at selling. And we've got a couple of people downstairs, and we've got a few in the other places where they're from a customer service sales background. They love the training. They want to get fit like we all do. Like I love the brand because I want to get fit as well and healthy. But they also are very good at speaking to people, communicating. So it's that level. So both of you, within 4 weeks, you could be trained and fully EMS, accredited and approved. And once you're hands-on with it, I always believe in any business, if you can do that, when you employ people, they can't pull the wool over your eyes. And with the platform that we have, they can't do that. They're logging at work, they have to log out at work, CCTV, calls recorded. Even though we trust our people, we also keep an eye on them as well, but not too intense like Big Brother, but enough to make sure everything's working really well. So it becomes a very symbiotic relationship with yourselves, ourselves, and the people that work for you. And the trainers that come on board who work for yourself really buy into it. A little bit like I did when I came for the interview. I thought fitness, love it. I'll come and have a look. I looked at the studio. I went upstairs. They did the interview in regards to obviously the franchise side, and they went, right, you can try it now. And I went, okay, I'll try it. And I thought, yeah, it'll be decent. Let's see how it goes. Oh my God. I walked out of that office thinking, right, I hope they employ me because I can sell this all day long. It's so fantastic. And what I did on purpose, I did a mystery shop as well. A few days later, after they offered me the job, I did a mystery shop on purpose with the other brands. And I realized that we have certain things that make us the best and make sure that we're going to move forward and grow rapidly. And one of the biggest things is the platform. The team's great, John's great, but the platform, everyone else subscribes to a platform. Everyone else subscribes to marketing. It's all in-house, and the platform will evolve and grow where new services. So I don't know if have you seen Red Light? Have you seen Red Light? Yeah, red light therapy. We started implementing that into studios as well because that's becoming something that's going to grow quite quickly over the next year or two. And our platform allows you to facilitate that, and it allows you to facilitate other services as well as you want to grow and expand. Yeah, Right. So all can depend on location and area, because obviously London, you can get more for your weekly subscription. Yorkshire would be a little bit less. And obviously, as we go international, it changes. But on average, a setup fee, for example, you get the bodysuit. You get the bodysuit that individuals have, and that's about £80 as retail price. But obviously, it can be discounted, but that would be at your discretion. But obviously, you would chat to head office about what's the minimum we can let that go for to get people on board. Regarding the sessions, it can vary. So we do a weekly subscription, and you sign up for at least 13 weeks as a minimum. And again, it depends what offers you have at the moment, but it can range between £20 to £35 a week on subscriptions, whether it's one session or two a week, roughly. But again, because it's euros, it might be slightly different in regards to that side of it, but it's not going to be a huge difference. So even some of the countries where you think, like, for example, in Albania, where we're looking to work with a master franchise, they're looking to probably do it for about probably 19 or 20 pounds, which is probably about 23 euros for that. Again, it still works. The numbers add up as long as you get the volume of members on board for it, and obviously keep the retention to a good level as well. 50,000. Yeah. Right. So it's if you some people want to buy it outright. Some people want to asset finance. Asset finance is obviously one of the smartest ways to go with it, and you get everything: the in-body, the two pieces of EMS equipment, with a certain amount of suits and materials that you'll get to support the wires, for example, that connect to the machine. So for that 50,000, you get everything you need to get yourselves going and moving forward in the right direction. Regarding a breakdown of a list of exactly what you get and how much you get, I can provide that after the meeting by email for you as well. Just get the exact details from the support team. But it covers everything. Yeah. In regards to, sorry, what do you mean by starter pack? Or in regards to a member coming on board? Yeah. So starter pack is obviously the 13 weeks as a minimum. And then obviously the paper setup fee, which is, again, at the moment, we could always tweak it about £80. And then obviously there's probably subscribing. And it depends what price they put on the P&L. But they're subscribing probably about £20 for one session a week, which is about 18 total for a month. But again, it will go up. So as you get a certain amount of members on board, the first 50, well, the first 30 will get a rate, which is obviously discussed by yourselves and ourselves to get it going. And then after that, as you increase the numbers, the rate will obviously go up, but not ridiculously. It'll still be very competitive in regards to keeping the customers retained and getting new clients as well. Right. So, for example, with the master franchise, the way it would work, initially, all, like the payments that are received on a monthly basis, they come through to the UK side of the business, which is the head office. So you'll be dealing with both of us. Are you asking from such a company point of view, regards to VAT and things of that sort of nature? Yeah. Right. So ultimately, you'll be dealing with the master franchise, which is Tara, but ultimately Tara signed a contract with ourselves in regards to obviously the agreements. So that's how it would work. Unless it's changed in any way, which I can check with legal and provide that information, that's how it would work. You'd sign up with the master, but obviously with John a part of the process, and obviously the master sign a contract with us in regards to legalities, the franchise rules and regulations, to make sure that she follows our rules. And obviously, when you sign a contract with her, you're following the rules that were sort of originally, set up in the UK, but again, can easily be sort of, put into Ireland as well. Does that make sense? Yeah, so that's what will happen initially, unless things are being changed. Again, I always check with financials regards to John. So if I get John in the meeting, we can double check that. But normally it's you deal with the master franchise who's set up in Ireland, and the master franchise deals with us because obviously everyone's accountable to each other as well. It God, yeah. So. No, it's everything in regards to the system and the platform that we've created. It works really well, and a lot of that side of it, I always, and you'll know this because I know you from you've worked in the printing. You're an accountant for, was it Snap? Yeah, from was it for Snap Printing? Is that right? Am I right? So, as long as everyone follows the process, and I will say it again and again, if you follow the process, it works. Regarding the platform, everything is dealt for you. It's set up so it's so easy to use. Again, I would like to obviously give you, as we move forward, a demo on the platform and show you some of the great things and how it works. And I'll probably get Joe involved in that, who's the CTO. It is hands-on in the sense of people come. You've got to have obviously two people who are working there and training them and supporting the studio. But in regards to the marketing, we'll do that for you. It depends on which package you go for. In regards to customer service, you'll deal with certain things to a certain extent, but a lot of that side of it will help and support you with it. It's a turnkey solution. So hands-on in the sense of, yeah, you're active, but for example, for you to have a multi-studio, you'll be hands-on, but seated back on an armchair. And so you can get one going and going, right, there's other studios, they're running it well, we're keeping an eye on obviously the platform, we're seeing what figures are coming in, we know exactly what's happening, the running, the daily, the appointments, the free trials that have come on board, what's been booked. And you can then, and I would do it personally as well, you'd visit the studios randomly and make sure they're up to top notch and they're doing what they need to do as well. So, for example, John went to London and visited 4 or 5 studios and just went in there and saw how things were. And a couple of studios where if we felt the numbers were at 70%, why are they not at 80%? And we look into that side of it for you as well, because for us, it's key as well. So hands-on initially for your first studio, maybe for the first few months, but you could, and if you wanted to, you could employ someone and get them in that position and train them and support them and make sure they run it properly for you. But obviously, if you're doing it yourself directly, depends whether you take a wage from the business for the first 6 months or first 12 months, you can make sure that you know exactly how it works. Because Simon, one of our other franchises, did that, and she's just blitzing it. And Darren from DIS, another franchisee, they're just growing and growing because they got their hands dirty a bit in a nice way. And now they go, right, we know what we're doing. Actually, this studio is not running right because of these reasons and that reasons. And our team will flag things up and say, right, there's issues here. We need to jump on it straight away and fix it. And a lot of it is people just not following process, which happens as a minimum now. But again, at the early stages where the franchise about a year and a half ago, the first few studios, it was all about learning for John and the team. Even though they built 0 to 52, it was all about learning. When I came on board, and this is what they wanted, I've just put things into place where it's even smoother and faster and easier. And my main job is, I'll be honest with you, is recruiting the right people. I said, doesn't matter if there's 10 people sat there with all the money and they can do it. If they're not right, they're not right. And I'll be honest with you, the last few months, I've said no to 3 people who just communication, the way they came across, it was like, it'll head for disaster because they weren't listening to simple things that we were asking, just simple requests. And then I'm going, right, if they're doing that now as they come on board, they're going to go off on a tangent. And like anything, the franchise doesn't work. It does work. It really does. Just follow the process. So that's what my job is to do and make sure as we move forward, new franchisees, They're looked after. So I'm always a WhatsApp away. Like you'll see, I'm always WhatsApping. I speak to the franchisees that have signed up and have come on board and moving forward. But the team are very, very good as well. So I've seen that firsthand, and that's why when people, I can sell a lot of things, but I sell this because I believe in it. But also, I'm living it day in and day out and weekly, and it's fantastic. It's a no-brainer, and that's what we're pushing into the United States now in the next week or so. We're pushing to Canada, Australia, because there's so much support and growth that it's going to just fly. You know what I mean? So that's my sort of feelings about it and how it would work for yourselves and potentially the franchisees as well. Yeah, I like that number. I like that number. Yeah, well, it straight away, David. I think we had this conversation before. It's just that side of it. And even like, for example, the platform costs millions and it costs a few years of work to do before they even franchised. So I know that for a fact. Then when I met John, and obviously I didn't know his full background, but he's done 0 to 52 and sold out to JD. And I'm like, right, hang on, we've got a guy who knows the gym world. We've got a CTO who's, I mean, he's a wizard on that. And even I was curious about the platform because I've worked in digital myself. I've helped develop apps. And when I saw that, I thought, right, no one, and I know it sounds a bit arrogant and probably get told off for this, no one can compete with us. No one can. And even Tara, who was from an EMS background, who's done it, said, right, if you come to Ireland, I will not be able to compete with what you've got. And she fell in love with the platform. And that's why she bought the master at, I think she bought it about 6, 7 months ago, maybe a little bit longer. It's that side of it. So you already know it works really well. The main thing is, I'll tell you the key to all of it, and I'll say it again and again. Our team will do everything. I mean, even now as we're setting people up, the team have been great. And any issues, any challenges, some of the franchises just drop me a little message. Oh, Sam, I'm waiting on this. And majority of the times, they're not waiting on stuff. They just want it. We said on Friday, but they want it on Wednesday. And I'm like, we said Friday, look at the email. Oh, yeah, you did. Right, we'll get it then. And the key is the franchisee. It's so key for us. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Absolutely. Right. Yeah. Right. Oh, right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Damien, right. You've hit the nail on the head. So I'm going to tell you a couple of things. So obviously, women want to come and they want to lose weight. And we have to change their mindset and say, look, you're going to lose body fat. I want to lose body fat. I don't want to lose weight. I want to lose body fat and build muscle. And when we explain, as we go through the process on the in-body, they go, right, so even if my weight is the same, but my body fat's going down, I'm going to be slender, leaner, and fitter. Women want that and they want something quick and easy. Not quick and easy. It's not easy, but quick, 20 minutes done out. That's the first thing. And they love that. So my partner's come and she's done a testimonial. This is the numbers don't lie. She's very good with the food. She's always been like that. And she wasn't big before, but she's dropped 6% body fat and she's toned up and she loves it. And she even said, and she goes, I feel like I've had a butt lift. So I was laughing my head off. I went, oh, that's brilliant because women want to hear that sort of stuff. So, regards to rehabilitation, I've got a really bad lower back. terrible. When I drive more than 2 hours because of football, for my, I kept on playing, even with my son. My son's at university now as well. But 2 years ago, I kept playing with him because I thought I'm not going to get these days again. And I'll try and kick a ball with my grandkids when I get a chance, but I'll have to get fit for that. My lower back, and I can say this, has completely recovered. My girlfriend said to me, my partner said to me, she goes, "You've not complained about your back since you've done EMS." And I went, "Oh, yeah, you're right." And we're driving. And John's a rugby player, and trust me, he's been battered. And even he's noticed his lower back is better as well. So a lot of athletes, I don't know if you know before, the technology has been around for a while. NASA were using it. And there's athletes were using it as well. Certain football teams use it as well for rehabilitation to build up that. It works really, really well. So transformation's good, performance is excellent, rehabilitation is great. And what I like to say is, the majority of your customers will be female. I think that's a fact. I think we've seen that. But what will happen is if they can get their husbands there, and now we've got partners training together, it's brilliant. And they're both doing it 20 minutes, doing what they need to do. So there's different levels of, not levels, sorry, there's different people who've got different journeys at different ages who would love this. So even my son, he's only 19, he's in good shape. He came down and I said, "Rohan," I went, "Listen, you're doing," "Oh no, Dad, I can do it. I'll lift weights." And he lifts weights. He does well. And I went, right. I went to Holly and I did it as a bit. I went, "Holly, absolutely beast him for 20 minutes. Make him work." Obviously, she's going to do everything careful and safely. She's not going to kill the poor lad. And he was like, "Oh my God, Dad, that was amazing." And I went, "Right, Rohan, if, for example, there was a student deal on and it was near university, would you switch the gym for this?" And he goes, "Well, I won't switch the gym completely, Dad, because I love the weights, love going with my friends, but I'd get this in once a week or twice a week." And I went, right. So there's a market there. So even in Galway, I know there's a lot of students there. I've been Galway. It's a brilliant place. I've been Ireland loads of times with like friends and family. And again, we're not going to run after that market, but I think there's scope for it where if it's price, again, it's not cheap for students. Yeah. Yeah, but it's a boutique. It's like you're going into a showroom and you're buying a Ferrari or a Bugatti. That's what EMS, in my opinion, is. So there might be ways that we can look at that market. It might not be straight away because we want the core of people who have got, disposable income, who want to do it, busy moms, housewives, busy business women, anything of that sort of demographic would work really well. So I think there's scope for everything. And I just believe, just for example, you have a load of females coming in. They've all got husbands and partners, and I guarantee they play football. They've got backache, they've got leg ache. I believe they can be enticed into the studios as well. It is. Listen, I'll be honest. When my partner came, I watched her. She did it, and she comes regularly now because she loves it. And I've seen her chat to my. So I didn't say a word. I thought I need to see this in action. And they were like, "Obviously, I work here, so I'm gonna love it and I'm gonna sell it, but I believe in it." She spoke to my sister-in-law. She told my mom. Then she went for a coffee with two of her friends who have sent in a sent. She gave them a link, did a free trial, and she's not even selling it. She just said, "Look, ladies, you're busy." She goes to the gym all the time. She went, "Just try it." And then once she's tried it, then after that, they've just loved it and wanted to come all the time. So we know who to target, but again, no one's, we don't write anyone off, but we know there's a core, get them on board, and in a nice, positive way, like men talk at the pub and we have a few beers, have a laugh. Women sit in cafes, coffees, go for brunches, and they talk, and they want some effective, easy to a certain extent to access, and they get the best results for it. And the key to it after that is, like everyone, you've got to watch what you eat and drink, which is always the difficult bit. So that's how it works. Yeah. It's it's quite even, I'll be honest with you. So one day I came into Leeds and there was literally from 8 o'clock, it was busy. Then one of the evenings, it was busy from about probably 4 till about 7. But it all depends. So, for example, I'm just giving you I come and I do it at lunch, 20 minutes, have my protein food, go for a bit of a walk, my lunch is done. But sometimes it depends on what people do for work and where they are in the day as well. So I think it can be spread pretty evenly. Remember, when someone books an appointment to come to the studio, they've booked it, and you'll see certain times are available. Like, for example, if someone sees, well, actually, I wanted to be there at 10, but I can't make it at 10, I'll come here at 12. They'll do it because they want to do it. And I've always noticed the diaries are full. And in the sort of southern areas, it can be that morning run, and then it can be the evening run. But again, if you are a tube station away, or your tube station is down the road, like the Hanslow site that's going live is next to a tube station. I mean, before I went home, so if I could, before I went home, I'd jump in, do my 20 minutes, get off home. So it can vary, but that's something that you'll learn as you move forward with the franchise side of it. But yeah, I think it can vary for anyone. So normally gyms can be very busy in the morning, then they're quiet till about 12, 1, 2-ish. Then people start hitting them about 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. I think with EMS, because the gym is at least an hour when you go, then you train properly. With ours, it's 20 minutes, 25 minutes, you're in and out. So I think the mindset for it is a bit different. You could do it on your lunch break. When I could not go gym on my lunch break, even if it was next door, I just won't have enough time to do what I wanted to do. Where with EMS, 85 times contracting, I know I've had a great workout. And the next day and the day after, trust me, I know I've had a workout. So it just depends on different people's sort of activities, what they're doing, and obviously the mindset. I always say to anyone, try this once, then talk to me. And once they've tried it once, I've not had anyone say, even members, even people who've potentially obviously looking to purchase a franchise, I've never one of them said, oh, this ain't great. I don't like this. I can't sell this. I can't see people doing it. They were like, oh my God, I thought this was a gimmick until I tried it. And I'll be honest with you, I thought the same. I thought, oh, right, let's try it. Because, you know, the studio looked great. The staff were great. And when I did it, I went, actually, forget everything else, even though it's important to a certain extent. This, you can sell this all day long because it's a great sort of potential. And what EMS will do, a little bit like in London, it's growing rapidly. We've got more sites going live, which we've not announced yet because we're just finalizing the deals. In the United States, there could be 20,000 EMS studios. They could have people buying states. Ireland's going to be the same. So even Tara, when you will obviously get to meet her on this journey as well, she'll tell you the potential is unbelievable of how many people want to do it and have disposable income to do it. And they'd rather do that than the gym. And a lot of ladies between that age would rather come here twice a week and do their walks with their friends and, you know, not go to the gym. So it's, you know, again, in regards to how it would work, it's going to be a similar sort of formula for yourselves in Ireland, London, USA, Canada, Australia. Obviously, if we were in the Middle East, which we are looking to go into, then it might be more, well, it will be focused more to women, but it'll be women only a little bit because obviously men and women don't mix in certain countries as well. So it just works for that demographic so well. But I know, for example, you know, if my partner had come here first, I said, come and try it, I would have gone, oh, give it a go. And as soon as I've tried it, I would have gone, right, this is something I want to do regularly, as long as I could access it and get in there. Yeah, 800 square feet, yeah. So, yeah, so if, for example, you know, if you've got, obviously you need a toilet in the facility, I think 2 changing rooms. If you've got 3, amazing. Regarding a shower, that's great to have there. A lot of people do not shower. They like to train and get out of here. I've seen people, obviously I'm not watching people, but I've seen people go to the studio, sounds awful that, and they literally, once they're ready, they'll give themselves a wipe down with a towel and they'll be out of the door. And I rarely see clients shower, but yeah, 2 toilet, I mean, so one toilet cubicle, shower facility. If you've got that, 2 changing rooms, And obviously the facility and the size for the actual training to begin, and you don't need a massive amount, but 800 square feet plus is fantastic. If you have, for example, the gentleman in the family that have gone ahead in Hanslow, they've gone ahead with a it was previously a hairdressing salon. They've actually got a facility for where you can fit in the infrared therapy. Also, they've one of their side, and I think it's a part of that studio. There's a physio already in there who says, "Can I have this room?" Of course, they can. They're paying a certain amount of rent, and physio will go, "Oh, my clients to you," and we'll go, our clients to you. And you know the injections that are coming out now in regards to sort of weight loss, right? They're going to cause a huge problem very soon. And the problem with that is, even though they are so popular, it's another level, especially in the Americas. UK is growing as well. People are losing weight, but they're losing muscle. So what we've been doing right now, we're working with a pharmacy, where they've got about 80 pharmacies. They supply the injections. People have become members here, and they become members. And we have, you know, with any study, you've got to have a certain amount of people coming through the door for a certain period. And we are noticing with that, we don't shout about it yet because we're going to give it a little bit longer. They're not losing muscle. They're actually gaining muscle, and they're moving forward. Where people who have the injection and don't do EMS, they're 100% losing muscle. And that's going to be an issue very, very soon, which the government, they probably have thought about it, because obviously there's probably another way for them to make money out of it, but it's going to be an issue. EMS solves that problem. And once we have the stats, which are very, very soon, and obviously, you know, it's credited, we can say, right, if you have an injection, right, but you do EMS, you've got a higher chance of, well, more than a higher chance of keeping your muscle and potentially gaining muscle as you do it as well. So that's something that's going to be huge, which we can't officially announce yet. But obviously, I can tell you a little bit about which direction we're going in, the healthcare direction. Even though it's a studio, even though it's fitness, healthcare, healthcare, healthcare. It's great to lose weight, but if it comes at a cost where you lose muscle and your life isn't as fulfilled and you can't do all the things you want to do, then the injection's not worth doing. So if people do the injection with EMS, it works well. And we know our members are really good. And obviously the people that we've got come in on purpose to see what we can do with stats and figures, they're noticing it's fantastic. And they won't say, all right, we'll do the injection, forget EMS. They're going, no, we're doing both together, because we want to get weight loss, but we want to be in shape as well, which is key. Because absolutely. I mean, if I lost weight and I looked puny, I'd be like, and I couldn't kick a football, I was struggling to do, I'd be like, forget this. Where for me, I just want to drop the body fat and put a bit of muscle on. Not loads, just a bit, because my body's not a muscular body, but be lean. Where certain people, for example, you know, for example, John, he went on InBody and 70% is his muscle mass, which obviously the professional rugby player, he's done that. Now he's trying to drop the body fat so he can get back into the shape he was when he got married. That's what he tells me anyway. I know, trust me, I do as well. I'm hiding behind the table at the moment. So, but it's again, with that side of it, it's, for me, it's, you know, I'll tell you my vision as well. It's for all of us in effect, how I believe Feel Electric will be the McDonald's of the EMS industry. But without the burgers, we can grow it that rapidly with the right people, which is key. I don't know if you ever watched The Founder, which is a film about McDonald's. Even though the guy was a bit treacherous in the end, the key was the right people coming on board for it. So my aim from this time next year is to have more studios in London, in Ireland, have growth in the United States and Canada, Australia, and then after that, next year to really excel it. And it only excels by word of mouth, and that's a fact. So yeah, it's a good adventure to be on at the moment. We'd love that. We'd love that. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Well, what I can do for yourselves, the way I see this, and again, obviously, please feel free to ask more questions. We can have some more meetings. But I believe potentially, we're at this stage where I think I could, again, you can tell me, and I don't want to jump the gun. I can send you the franchise agreement just to review, because I think you should review it, have a look through it, take your time, get legal advice, do what you need to do. That's as a franchise recruitment manager, that's my job to say that to you straight away and do that. So I can send the franchise agreement for yourselves to review. Let's book you in. You come down to Leeds, you experience it from start to finish, how it works. You get to meet John, Joe, there's Joe Higgins, there's Sam. Whole team will be here. It's quite a busy office at the moment because we're moving offices early next year. But at the moment, we're all here together, and you'll see what it's about. And after that, you'll be going, right, I think this is for us, or you'll think, actually, this is not for us. But I don't think you'll think that way. And you do that, then we can sort of sit down and go, right, what are you thinking? Are we going to do one studio? Can we get it going in this area? Great. And we can move forward step by step. But I'd love to invite you over. So do you have a specific date or time at the moment? Right. Do you want me to sort of pencil something in and then you can confirm it? Brilliant. Yeah. Give us a couple of dates. If it's near the end of the month, I'm away from the 26th, all the way to the Monday in September. I've got a stag for my sins, so I'm trying my best to get in shape now. One of my good friends is getting married. It's going to be wonderful, but you know what? I'm too old for these stags, so it sounds mad, but I'm actually scared to go. But I know that I'll probably have to drink the night before with my friends in Manchester before we go on the weekend, Friday to the Sunday. But that's another story for another day. So if you Oh, it's so difficult because they're so naughty. It's oh, trust me, I can't wait. But I'm like, right. Even my girlfriend's like, okay, be sensible. I went, but I'm going with these lads they're my university mates, so I've known them like 25 years. And they were like, she went, you know what? Just enjoy yourself. Just don't come back with any stories, if you know what I mean. I went, don't worry, we'll all survive it. Don't do a hangover. So I'm away at that period. So if you came before then, that would be wonderful. Or after then, that would be great. Yeah, because for me, I want to be here because I obviously want to introduce you to the team, and you'll meet John and Joe. You can have a chat with them, but then we can have a really good chat about the franchise and take it from there as well. So I'll wait for you to give me a couple of dates which were good for yourself, and then in that period as well, Tara will come down as well. I've already spoke to herself. I spoke to Tara about yourself, and because everything was positive on our initial calls and our communication. Today's been a really nice meeting as well. We've had a couple of other people inquire, so I've spoken to her about those people. But regards to yourself, if you're coming to Leeds, she might as well come and meet you. You get to know who she is. She's wonderful, absolutely wonderful person. Really loves it, knows it like the back of her hand. So even in Galway, when you go live, the level of support she will give on the ground is unbelievable. She's just fantastic. And that's why, we were happy to let the master franchise go to her. So I'll try and get her down that day as well. I'll send you the franchise agreement after this meeting. What it'll be is like a DocuSign. You don't sign nothing. What'll happen is I need to get your details and your email, which I have, maybe your son as a witness, name and details. Don't sign nothing. It's not for that. It's just I'm going to send it through. So John approve it and it goes through to yourselves. You'll be able to review it in detail. And then obviously as we move forward, then we can put all the correct details on that. Would that be okay for yourself? Brilliant. And what I'm going to quickly do, if it's okay with yourselves, are you all right for another? I'm going to try and grab John. I know he's in a meeting, but I'd like to say hello to him. Is that all right? Brilliant. 2 minutes. I'll be back. 2 minutes. Right. Just 2 minutes. John's just finishing up an online meeting. So just bear with us because I thought it's nice for him to say hello to you as well, which is great as well. So are you all right to WhatsApp me your son's name and his email address for the second witness? And then just send me a couple of dates you're thinking. And then I can come back to you and we'll book it out for you as well in regards to that side of it. Because it'd be nice. I know Tara spoke to me this week, and I mentioned yourselves anyway before, but obviously it'd be nice to meet her, and then you know exactly who you're going to potentially work with and the support you get as well. And the full team should be in on that day. So it'll just be nice to meet everyone because we want you to buy into, if we're working together, we want you to buy into ourselves, but we want to buy into you and also make sure that you're happy with everything and all the, all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted as well. But potentially, just say, for example, we're jumping massively ahead now. Just say everything goes well and you come on board in October. I think potentially, you're ready to go live probably mid to end of January if we push it, if not Feb. And that period, a lot of people are looking potentially for, joining the gym. So for us, December dies a death. Yes, yeah, that's it. Yeah, there's a bit, people are looking to join a gym in that period, but in January, everyone has had a really good time over there. So there's potential for that as well, but obviously that's something we can discuss further down the line as well. The main thing is for it to fit for yourself, but also location is key. So once we know the territory is secured, that location is key. I mean, we're doing it right now with a few franchisees, and we're making sure the location is spot on. And, once that is, the stats and the numbers, I mean, they speak for themselves as well. But again, we can discuss that as we move forward, if that's okay. Right. Yeah. 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 All right. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. 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 Well, right. Well, right. Football. Yeah. Well, the way it is now, in that side, even if there's a challenge, we'll be able to sort of look at what we can do. Remember what works well. So if it was a retail commercial sort of site, hairdressers are fantastic, beauty salons are great. I think that sort of nature worked very, very well. But again, John is the expert on that side of it. And like anything, even if we have to wait a little bit longer to get the right studio, once you're signed up as a franchisee, it's not going to be a problem. We'd rather wait and get the right place and make it work. We would never want you to rush and, get something just for the sake of it. Yeah. So normally we can get people up and running within 4 months, but if it took, again, as long as it didn't affect yourselves too much, if it took another month or two, it's not the end of the world as long as it's the right studio, because that's key. So like anything, things come good. I mean, we're dealing with some commercial, I don't know if you ever dealt with commercial estate agents. They are difficult to deal with. And we've had a couple of emails there with some locations that we're negotiating where they've got no one else looking at it. They are trying to get out there because the business previously was a hairdresser's and a beauty place, and she's an old lady, and she just wants to get out. And there's another one there but the estate agents are like bartering with us like they've got gold in that place, and we know they haven't because we've checked all of it, and they're like, no, we don't agree to those terms. And I've just seen the email from John because he helps. He sort of looks after that side of it, and he helps you with the.
Hello,
John, John's here. All right, John. Just going to introduce you to Stephen.
Apologies for that. My 2 o'clock Teams meeting is just finished at 4 o'clock. It's supposed to go on for an hour.
So John, I'm just going to introduce you to Stephen and Damien. They are obviously looking at potentially in Ireland, and we spoke about Galway today. We've had a really good conversation, very productive. I'm going to potentially invite them down. Well, they're more than welcome to come down to the Leeds studio, experience it, and hopefully get Tara down here at the same time. They're thinking end of September, maybe latest early October. And I just thought it'd be nice to meet you and just say hello to them. And then hopefully they'll come down and see us. And after this meeting, I'm going to send through the franchise agreement, just a review. They can have their, they can check it with their lawyers and ask any questions that they have as well. So that's just thought I'd give you a little bit of inside knowledge there.
Well, nice to meet you. First and foremost, Galway is one of my favourite places in the world. I spent 6 months working in Northern Ireland, but we used to go across to a place, I don't know if it's still there, called Smugglers Creek, overlooking Galway Bay. Is that still there? I tell you what, I say about this everywhere in Ireland, the best pint of Guinness I've ever had, but the seafood was amazing. And obviously all the locals used to start singing and playing instruments every night. It was fantastic. But anyway, I digress. But nice to meet you. So is that where you're based then, in Galway?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then potentially what David was saying is hopefully, if things move forward and they get the one studio going, they might look to potentially move it into, is it Sligo Town as well? You mentioned. Yeah. And Limerick. That's it. And I mentioned, obviously, John, with yourself, the main thing for us is to find the right, obviously, once they get their territory, the right location is key for the success, obviously, of the studio as well, which you assist with, like, hands-on.
It's the number one priority. It's always the same old adage: location, location, location. And it's, for us, helping you find the best locations our number one priority, because it's the most important thing. And I'm sure Sam's told you we've got some really neat software that will help us do that. And data doesn't lie. So despite knowing Galway relatively well, I would still rely on the data.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, that'd be. We'd love to host you. Just don't drink the Guinness here. That's all I'll say. It's horrible.
Yeah, I don't. No, definitely not. So what I'll do then is, obviously, I'll wait for you to WhatsApp me, Damien, in regards to a couple of dates that you can come down. I'll send you through the franchise agreement once I've received the details regarding your son to be the second witness, so you can at least review it. And then we'll organise that day. You'll get to meet John will hopefully be here. Joe will be here, team members. Tara wants to obviously fly in and meet you as well. And we'll be all here together. You can go through the experience. As soon as you come, you'll meet the team, but we'll put you through your paces with the EMS side of it and how you would experience it as a member. And then after that, you might need a glass of wine or a beer or even just a steak to recover. And then we'll talk obviously a bit more about the franchise and just delve into it a little bit deeper of what we can do and how it can potentially fit for both of us. Is that okay? Brilliant. Brilliant. Well, pleasure to meet you both. John, thanks for joining, and we'll continue this. Fantastic.
If we could set the date plenty of time in advance, I'll make sure I'm here.
Yeah. Perfect.
Right.
Oh, right.
Well, it's a very short flight from Dublin to Leeds Bradford, I can tell you. Yeah, well, you're up and down. That's it.
You rugby fit?
No, I was Union, so so the best team I played for was Harlequins down in London. That was my team. But there's a guy called Jason Leonard kept me out of the first team. He was ahead of me. He was, yeah. I've met Keith quite a few times. He's a character. Yeah, he's a good night with him. That is for sure. I tell you what, there's Jason Leonard. That is a good night. You don't want to try and match him pint for pint. That is for sure. Bloody hell, he can put it away. I was tempted, but we're just a bit busy at the minute. So I went. I was due to go on the last one, but then obviously COVID knackered that, and I went out to New Zealand the time before. But I was trying to persuade my wife to go out to Australia with the kids, but it's too far for her. It was a bit of a disappointing series in the end for me, to be honest. Yeah, I mean the first game was rubbish, even though we won it.